Hello, everyone. To another episode of Four Continental Podcast. Today we are with Ethan, Florian, and Singpak, and me, Moment. So, yeah, today we discuss the games that were played on 17 June. Some quite interesting games. So, let's just start off with the first one, France versus Senegal. So, Singpak, do you want to start?
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was an intense game for sure, in my opinion. I think one of the key things I've noticed in the game was obviously beforehand, a lot of people were talking about how Dembele and Mbappe, like how these two were gonna perform. And yeah, in my opinion, I think like it was kind of clear in the game that Dembele is not really a number 10. And I think that Olise, he had a quite good game as well. So I think he should be more in the number 10 role. And because I think the Mbappe Olise duo would be better. So and also before for our older predictions, I did say how Upamecano and Saliba should be the starting center back duo for the game, and literally saw the reason for that. I mean, both of the defenders were great in the game. I mean, and for Senegal side, I think like they weren't actually playing bad, and respect to them for not like playing like defensive style of football. They were still like trying to go head to head with France. But I think like what really cost them was the fact that they were missing a lot of chances. What do you think of the game, Florian?
Yeah, I think it was an interesting game. As you said, it's good that they didn't play too defensive. I really wish we could have seen more goals from Senegal because they really deserve to be like the way they played. They really did deserve to maybe at least draw.
I agree. Senegal, they were the team in the first half, and they totally should have scored. Nicholas Jackson should have scored, and Sarr should have scored. And if France are that bad in the first half against better teams and later in the tournament, they're not going to win this tournament.
Yeah, for sure. The first half, Senegal definitely had the chances to score more goals. Sir missed a couple of good chances, and although France played they were kind of all right in the first half. Uh, so
They
yeah,
had
they
one shot.
definitely were punished.
They had one shot the entire first half, according to the stats I saw here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because they were weren't really getting the passes through. The Senegal defense was solid. They weren't letting any passes through to Mbappe, and the passes that actually made through that went through to him, he kind of messed up with the touch. So yeah, the first half was definitely one to forget for France, but in the second half, they definitely Mbappe, Olise, the most weighted players, they definitely stepped up for the nation, and at the end, they did a decisive match.
Elise
With
was
that,
given man of the match, even though he did not score, but he played a great game.
yeah, for sure, he made the assists.
Yeah, and also one thing I've noticed throughout the game was obviously we did kind of point out that the France midfield was kind of weak, but in my opinion, I actually thought Rabiot had a decent game. I mean, I'm not saying that because he had an assist. I think as a box to box midfielder, he was actually giving out a good performance. And also, I think Senegal should start Mabaye in the later games. I mean, he literally came off and got a goal. So yeah, what do you want to say, Ethan?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was trying to do the reaction thing. I haven't done this in a long time, so
No, it's all
Okay,
good. It's all good.
okay.
So anything you want to say, Florian?
Yeah, I think you pretty much got everything. I think although Olise got man of the match, Mbappe scored really good goals. The last one was a banger, and after all, the first half was a bit not that energetic. I think, but the second one they really all both teams. I think they got really maybe a little bit more motivated, or I don't know, and that they really got to work. And that's good to see for both of them for the next games.
France just showed their quality in the second half. They showed why they're one of the favorites and the best teams in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, let's move on to the next game here. Iraq versus Norway. So, what do you guys think of that game?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, this was a game where I think the scoreline did not really reflect how the game really went. Because, in my opinion, I think actually Norway was kind of poor throughout the most of the game, in my opinion. But I think when, yeah, I mean, I think when like the error happened, which kind of led to the goal for Norway, I think that's when kind of Iraq kind of like fell off. What do you think of the game, Florian?
Yeah, I think it really can break your spirit if you get like a goal which is very very unlucky or made a big mistake, the second goal, and then I think their play style faded away a little bit. They got more like they did more mistakes, and then the third goal eventually had to happen, even if it was in the last like seconds of the game. But I think they lost energy because of the second goal, and that's why they probably didn't really get to score a second goal or got one more because I think the first half they did really really good, and Norway, I think they for what they are, they didn't play as good as they could.
I would agree with that. Also, I will say for the first two Norway goals, one's a tap in from like 2 feet, one is a goalkeeper mistake, and then for the other two goals, I think the ref missed fouls or something in the build up. I think there was a foul by Holland for the third goal, and I think there was definitely a foul for the fourth goal, and but the ref didn't call them. I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying the ref. I don't think had a good game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The ref would definitely not have a good game, and I think this game kind of proves that how little errors can like completely cost the whole game, in my opinion. But for my reasoning on why I think Norway was not performing that well, I think like a lot of players were kind of average, especially Odegaard. I mean, I mean, when you look at Norway, you would kind of expect him to step it up, but I think he was quite average. And for the future games, I would actually want like Oscar Bob to start for the Norway games. And I think like Iraq should have like their finishing should have been like more clinical in my opinion. What do you think of the game, Moment?
Yeah, but definitely, like everyone said, in the like opening minutes of the game was actually really intense. It made me think for a moment that Iraq might actually pull this one off. But then the second goal happened, the keeper mistake, which really, in my opinion, really demotivated the players. And yeah, then basically just the goals kept coming. Although this is definitely concerning for, I would say, yeah, for with the Holland in their attack and all these players that they have, and if they can like barely manage to defend Iraq, they got like really tough games upcoming with Senegal and France. They really have to step their game up in order to get a good result for them and make it to the next round.
What did you think of the referee?
Yeah, I was gonna say he as you mentioned the other two goals. I also thought that there was a like a possible foul in the build-up play and the fourth goal in the yeah. So definitely some questionable. Yeah, it wasn't his best game for sure.
No, it won't go be his best highlight reel on his CV of like the best referee games ever, which is
Yeah, for
surprising
sure.
because I thought he was a pretty good referee.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, let's move on to the third game. It was Argentina versus Algeria. Yeah,
Messi is
basically.
Messi scored 3 goals, and if Messi wasn't playing for Argentina, they would not have won that game. But Messi's a man of match, but also Argentina should thank Lucas Zidane a lot. He made at least two big errors that led to goals. So I if you think about goals that were just not keeper errors, Argentina won 1-0. I know that's not how it works, but if you think about it like that, Argentina won 1-0. And if the Algeria goal was not offside, which it was offside, but if it wasn't, we could have had a different game.
Right, right.
Mm,
I mean, obviously, I mean, Messi kind of showed his greatness again. I mean, no doubt he's the GOAT, but there was definitely like doubtful the Algerian goalkeeper Zidane. I mean, first goal, I really think he should have saved that. I think he really should have used like one arm to save it. And for second goal, I would say it was kind of savable, but I wouldn't like fully blame him for that as well. And I just think that throughout the game, like Algeria's midfield and defense were kind of stunned, in my opinion. And also, I did want to say that it was actually kind of surprising to see like how the players you normally that kind of seem average for Argentina just kind of stepped it up. I mean, you guys saw the DePaul pass, right? That was crazy, right? Like, have
Yeah,
you ever seen him do that normally? S- And also, I've seen a lot of talks about like Messi or whether he should have gotten a red card or not. So, what's your opinion on that, Ethan?
I did not see that. Looking at it, it looked a little bit like a red card. I would have given. I don't know. I would give it a red. Also, I want to say too, I have no idea why the coach of Algeria did not play Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, he was only like brought on as a substitute, right? Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes no sense. He's arguably your best player, and when you
yeah.
have your best players, you play them.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't still completely write off Algeria. I do think they can still like play decent in the remaining games. But what's your opinion on the game, Florian?
Wait, I want to
I
say real quick. Maybe
Yeah.
Algeria just thought we're gonna lose this game to save Mahrez and try to win in other two games.
Maybe, maybe. Yeah. So, what's your opinion, Florian?
so I sadly I didn't get to see the game because I had to sleep, but I watched the highlights and I think Messi did really really good. As expected, I think. I heard some people say that his prime is gone and that he will not perform in the World Cup, but I really didn't doubt that because it's Messi, you know. And for the red card, I heard many opinions, but I think what I want to say, I think for many games, the refereeing has been not that great. Like I want to expect in a World Cup that the refereeing is on point, even with all the new added rules and the new video assistance and stuff. But I did not see if Messi's red card should have been given or not, so I don't really have an opinion on that.
Yeah, for sure. There was definitely a huge debate on whether that was a suspension or no. But I had like multiple referees commenting on it. Half of them said it was not really intentional, deliberate, so and excessive force. It wasn't really such excessive force, so which is why it didn't really get suspension. But yeah, apart from that, it was basically a one-man show. Even when the game started, if the Argentina's first goal wasn't ruled out, that was still scored by Messi. So he would have had four actually. So yeah, it was definitely a crazy game from him. Also, I'm really disappointed from Algeria because I thought they looked really good with how they play their friendlies, and I kind of have had like better expectations from them. Maybe a draw at best, but yeah, they were far from it. The midfield and defense could not really press at times, which give
Mhm.
Messi tons of space. And if you give Messi space, he will punish you,
That's true.
which basically did yeah, the first goal he was basically all open. There was no one closing him in, and he just took the shot and it went in. Similarly, in the second goal, the keeper should have like secured it in its hands, but he couldn't. So, and I would say the kind of defense was sleeping too, or maybe they were just kind of reliant on their keeper that he would like hold on to it, but unfortunately, he really could not. And the third goal was obviously a great one. So, yeah, I'm gonna say Algeria. I'm really disappointed from the performance. This pressing has to change in the next two games if they like have any plans to qualify for the next round. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to work on for Algeria.
And they need to
Yeah,
start Mahrez and their best players. And also, if there's one player in Algeria, Algeria should know not to give that much space to, it would be Messi, right?
yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah,
it's obvious. I could figure that out, and I don't play.
Yep. So with that, let's move on to the final game, which is Austria versus Jordan. So for that game, I want Florian to start since he's Austrian. So yeah, what do you think? How did Austria do?
I think they performed really well. Jordan was a really, really hard enemy for them. So they did really well as well. You can see all of the players on the pitch. It was their first World Cup game in their life. So I think that is a big point to see if when you judge the players. Both of them played really, really well. And I think the manager from Austria did really good substitutions to secure a better attacking field. Because in the Euros, when they lost to Turkey, one of the biggest mistakes they did was playing too defensive, and I think they didn't do that here. Jordan also played really well. They got more shots on target, more shots on in general. So I wouldn't underestimate them, even if they play Algeria or Argentina. Because when I went into the group stages, I thought that would be easy. It would be an easy game, but now I think even Algeria could struggle, or Argentina probably not. But it will be hard games, and I really look forward to the next games. So yeah, I think all in all, it's a great game. I think you could argue the handball because it was natural in my opinion, but I'm not completely neutral, so maybe some other people have other opinions on that.
I thought it wasn't a handball. I would have given that goal, but I'm not a referee, so
Yeah. But I
Right,
think
right.
Arnautovic did really good forcing the ball away from the defenders and forcing that own goal. So they got their revenge in the end, I will say. So
and also if it didn't matter, it finished 3-1, but it could have mattered.
yeah, yeah.
But but it just takes a long time though. Sometimes I just wish it could make it take shorter.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the game and like the overall game? How did you? What do you
I
think
thought
about it?
I thought Austria played well. I mean, yes, they didn't have. They had 4 shots on target and scored 3 goals, even though one was their own goal. But and they were equal. 11 shots in total for Austria, 11 shots for Jordan. 4 on target for Austria, 4 on target for Jordan. But Austria took their chances, and I thought they played well. And also, I was impressed with their grit and determination. Like they really wanted to win. And I'm not saying Jordan didn't, but like I also think, and this is gonna sound a bit cliche, a bit of that tournament experience because yes, Austria haven't been in the World Cup for a while, but they've been in the Euros, which is a bigger tournament than the Asian Cup, and so they know how to like get these results. Apart from which Jordan, I don't think did.
Yeah. What about you, Simba?
Right, right. So I didn't really watch the game, so I can't really comment much on it. But I did read online that the Austria starting 11 was kind of different from usual. So what's your like? What was your opinion on that, Florian? And is there like any players you want to continue seeing start for Austria or with Florian? So are there any players you want to see continue
Oh,
starting
all
or
right.
like? Yeah, I was asking
The
you.
audio cut for me. The audio cut for me. Sorry.
Uh,
I think he did good. I would start Arnautovic next time. Maybe he didn't start him to like give him a little bit of rest for the next games because he is one of the oldest players in the squad. But also, I think maybe bring on Danzo earlier because he did really really well in defense. But other than that, I think the substitutions really did their job and they brought new life to the game. So if he starts the same squad next time, I wouldn't be upset.
Right, right. So what do you think of the game moment?
yeah, I mean, out of all the previous three, I believe this was the perhaps the most entertaining one for me because both the teams look really well and both they did like quite a few attacks. I was quite impressed by Jordan, of course, since they were in Pakistan's group in the World Cup qualifiers. So they did come here to play and they beat us 2-0. but we had the chance to see our keeper save the penalty of Musa Al Tamari, who was actually playing really well last night. So yeah, I'm definitely impressed by the Jordanian performance. Their center backs were solid most of the time. But at the end, they just conceded an own goal, which was really unfortunate, and which also really basically uh, uh, shut down their morale, you can say, because they look like they could score, like they could equalize and perhaps win the game as well. But since that own goal happened, I think they just kind of couldn't really make any breakthroughs. And yeah, as Florian said, their center back, the this, he was bought quite late. I think if we started the game, maybe Jordan wouldn't have gotten enough chances as they did in the first half, because Danso did really well. He kept the defense real solid. So after all, it was a great game with both the teams scoring like great goals. Austria scored the opener outside the box, great goal. Similar with Jordan. Um, uh, uh, yeah, so definitely it was the most entertaining game out of the four for me, and I'm definitely excited to see how they do against Algeria and Argentina, because they're both are well capable teams of defeating them. So yeah, this will definitely be an interesting group to watch, and where who finishes where.
I had a question for the future because you predicted the group stages at the beginning, and I wanted to know if you maybe think that Jordan, now that we see they played really well, maybe even would get a chance from you to secure a third place in the group stages, because we saw Algeria did some mistakes and maybe they could play well against them, or do you think they will still finish fourth place in the group stage?
Yeah, I mean after the Austria game, it's definitely if Algeria don't like fix things up, Jordan will definitely give them a tough time, and I can potentially see them finishing as third, because I just feel like Austria, the way they play, they're I believe they're kind of too strong. So I'm gonna stay with Austria and Argentina as top two. But in the third position, there's definitely gonna be a real battle between Algeria and Jordan to finish third. So yeah, it will be
Although do you
really interesting to watch.
although the thing with Jordan is they need a win potentially to qualify, and so they have to be Algeria. They have to, because I don't think they're going to beat Argentina.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, anything could happen, but I'd be stunned if they beat Argentina.
But if Algeria loses to Austria and they draw from goal difference at the moment, Jordan would also beat Algeria, so they don't really have to win if Austria wins against Algeria.
Ah, I did not know that.
Yeah, so they would both finish 1 point, and at the moment, Algeria is -3 goals, and Jordan only is -2. So Argentina will play a big factor deciding how big they will lose against Argentina. If they lose, will decide if they advance or not.
It'd be cool if Jordan goes through. You know, a small country, first World Cup.
Yeah, it will for sure be a surprise to everyone. I'm gonna say. So yeah, let's move on to the predictions for the upcoming games. Starting off with Portugal and Congo. What do you think the score is gonna be?
Yeah,
2
so
nil Portugal.
Yeah. So what about you, Florian?
I think 2-0 as well, probably.
Yeah, sing back.
yeah, so I think I gave my predictions yesterday
Uh,
in the yesterday episode. So I think I said a three
yeah.
one to Portugal, because
Mm-hmm.
I do think like their just the fact that their midfield can like kind of overcome the fact that their attack is like maybe is not the greatest, but Now there is one change though. I mean, we did say yesterday that Ronaldo will probably start the game purely because of the narrative, but I think after the Argentina game today is definitely happening. Like I think
Oh,
it's 100% happen.
oh, he was
Yeah.
100%. He was 100% starting anyway. He's too arrogant to not start. I think Roberto Martinez does not have the guts to bench him because remember at the last World Cup, the previous coach benched him, and all heck broke loose.
Oh yeah, I still remember that. That was crazy.
Yeah, so and Roberto Martinez is basically he's not the coach. I think Ronaldo's more the coach, and Roberto Martinez is just doing what Ronaldo says because he's afraid to lose his job.
Yeah, for
Right,
sure.
right. But I do hope that he is kind of brought off by the like halftime because I really think that he shouldn't be like playing full 90 in my opinion. And I think one here kind of agrees with that, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, so I I don't remember what I said in the last episode, but since we are seeing a lot of upsets in the World Cup, so I'm gonna just say it could be a 1-1 draw since Congo also has some like really good players. They got Visa, they got Van Bissaka, Bakumbu. So I won't really just have it easy for Portugal to like win it all the way. I think it could be a 1-1 draw, but I think Portugal, with the amount of quality they have, they might just win it 2-1 or something. So I think it's gonna be a close game. With that, moving to the next game, which is England versus Croatia. What do you think the score will be?
2-2. I'm going. I know that's maybe controversial, but England have struggled against Croatia in the last few tournaments. And Croatia, I mean, you can never count them out. They always punch above their weight recently, and they're a good team. I think if England drop points in this group, it's at this game.
For sure. Yeah, what do you think, Florian?
I went with 1-1 because I think they will both play more defensive because they know they both are big teams and they don't really are dependent on that 3 points. So 1 point for each team would benefit them both. So I don't think they will go all in attacking.
Right, right. So I was actually gonna go 1-1 as well, in my opinion. So yeah, well, my reason was also that I don't think it's gonna be a game like full of goals. I mean, I don't think Croatia is a team that kind of scores a lot. And yeah, so like we have said, it is gonna be a big match. I mean, I still kind of remember the 2018 game of these two together. So I do back it to be an entertaining game though. What do you think, Moment?
Yeah, I was also gonna say 1-1 draw since both of the teams, you can tell that it will be kind of a boring match, which I hope is not. But I'm still gonna go with 1-1 because Croatia got a really aging squad, especially with players like Kovacic, Perisic, Modric. So yeah, I definitely got an aging squad, and I don't think they still gonna perform at that level which they used to. So then moving on to the Ghana versus Panama game. Four predictions for this one. Um, Ethan, what do you think?
2-1 Panama. Panama have never won a World Cup game, but I think they'll beat Ghana because this is a better Panama team than in 2018. A lot better. They got to the CONCACAF Nations League final, which is now the biggest tournament in CONCACAF over the Gold Cup. And in 2023, they got to the Gold Cup final. They lost both to Mexico by only one goal, but they're resolute. They know how to play, and they know how to grind out a result against weaker teams that aren't Mexico and the U.S. and Canada. And these aren't, and Ghana's not Mexico, U.S. and Canada. And I think Panama can squeak it 2-1.
And very interesting take, Florian.
I like your points, but I still think that Panama will lose 2-0 to Ghana because I just think that for first game and the excitement and stuff, maybe they will make some mistakes or yeah.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I would actually think it's going to be a 1-1 draw between them. Because in my opinion, I do think Ghana team they do have like a few talents. I mean, Semenyo and also I think like the older brother of Nico Williams. And but in my opinion, I think that Ghana has always kind of underperformed in my opinion. And even kind of looking at their qualifiers run, they're kind of doing bad in my opinion. So I do think it will be a close game. So that's why I'm backing a 1-1 for
They
both
haven't
match.
been good Ghana at World Cups since 2010 when they got to quarterfinals and were that missed penalty away from the semis. But they really haven't been good since then in the World
Yeah,
Cup.
so they haven't been good for a few years now and also recently. So yeah, that's why I don't think they will like completely dominate and stuff. What do you think, Moment?
Uh, yeah, this is like a really interesting game considering I watched Panama and Ghana both in their recent matches. Uh, Panama, I believe, drew with Bosnia 1-1, and considering how solid the Bosnian defense is, and yeah, I'm also gonna move slightly towards Panama here because onto Ghana with all like the pace they have, Kudus, they have Inaki Williams, uh, yeah. So I think Panama gonna win this 1-0. So moving on to the second last game, being Uzbekistan and Colombia. So what do you think, Ethan?
Uh, I really like the Uzbekistan. I like their defense. I don't like their coach though, and I don't think they have enough firepower up front. So I'm going 2-1 Colombia because Colombia have Luis Diaz and that Luis Suarez, not the Uruguayan one, but the other one who's done really well, and also James Rodriguez has done well at World Cups, and he was a player of the tournament at the last Copa America.
Right, right. So I'm actually gonna go bold here. I actually predict a 2-0 win for Colombia. So I've said before, my pick for the dark horses for this World Cup is Colombia. So I really have big expectation for them. Like Ethan has said, Luis Suarez, Luis Diaz. I mean, the attack is already looking stacked. And I also think the defense isn't the worst as well. I mean, I think they got Munoz, and they also got like let me think, like Davidson Sanchez. So if I remember, he was kind of average at Spurs, but ever since he went like Galatasaray, he did guy kind of get like a career revive. So I really have hope for Colombia. What do you think, Florian?
I will go 3 Colombia and 2 Uzbekistan. I think pretty similar. They're both good teams, and I think it would be a hard match. Could be a draw as well, but that's what I'm going for.
Very interesting takes, honestly. So I'm just gonna go towards a draw here because I think Uzbekistan are like strong defensively, and it's just gonna be like one of those games where Uzbekistan stay back and they try to like score one on the counter attack. So I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw between Uzbekistan and Colombia. So, with that,
Right,
moving
and I
to
also
the
think there will be a lot of pressure on Kusanov as well. I mean, he's by far the star
yeah,
player of Uzbekistan, so I do think maybe like they'll crumble a little bit. So that's my take as well.
He's their like
yeah, for
marquee
sure.
player. He's their like Virgil van Dijk.
Right, right.
Yeah, so moving towards the final game, being Czechia and South Africa. Both teams lost their opening games. So, what do you think? Who wins here? Ethan, do you want
I think Czechia because they played well against South Korea. I know South Korea won, but and South Africa has those players suspended, and also they looked really bad against Mexico. I mean, really bad against Mexico. They kept giving Mexico the ball. Mexico could have won 4 or 5, and I'm going Czechia.
Right, right. My reasoning will be the same as well. I would go for a 2-0 win for Czechia because, like you have said, I mean, in the South Korea game, I think in the first half they were kind of like underwhelming, but I think in the second half they were providing a good match. They were providing good pressure, and whereas South Africa, like they kind of lost to a Mexico team, and in my opinion, Mexico weren't even playing that good as well. In my opinion, so
I
I
can
don't
vouch
think
for
it will be
that.
a. I
I
don't
can
think it will
vouch
be
for
a.
that.
I
This
don't
is
think it will be
not
a
a good
close game.
Mexico team.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a good Mexico team. It was just South Africa were kind of poor in every aspect.
Yeah. So what do you think, Florian?
I think both teams didn't go to the fullest, and I think they both will play a little bit more defensive because, as we know, 1 point can get you far. So I will think they probably both play more defensive, and I would go for a 1-1 draw.
If Czech Republic or Czechia loses this game, are they out? Because that would be 2 losses.
Yeah,
They
for
could win
sure.
against Mexico, but
But
I
are
mean,
they
if
out?
they
Out?
drew against, I mean, if they lose against South Africa, you won't really expect them to win against Mexico, to be honest.
that's true. Yeah.
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 So yeah, I'm gonna say Czechia actually dominates South Africa in this game, and it's gonna be a dominating win from them. Probably like a 3 or 4-0 for Czechia.
Dang.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go all out against South Africa.
I think South Africa, no offense, but I think they're the worst team in this group.
Yeah, yeah, man, you could say that.
But you have to know both teams know they're probably out when they lose, so that's a big factor.
Yeah.
So the coaches will tell them that they maybe should. I think a draw is the best case for both of them. If of course winning is better every time, but I think that's the safest option for both of them, so they can maybe yeah
South
better than this
Africa,
game.
South Africa also did not do too well in qualifying, and it came down to the last day. So and they're not that good. They weren't a standout in the qualifying. They just had an easy group. So I've never been a really big, huge fan of them going in this World Cup. So I think they're gonna lose by. I am gonna just go 1-0 because I think it's gonna be 1-0.
Right, and I actually back Ethan saying like South Africa has probably been the worst team this tournament. I mean, we had teams like Curacao who literally lost 7-1. But I would still say they're probably a better team than South Africa. And I mean, the other teams we kind of expected to do well, like Jordan, Iraq. I mean, they all like kind of surprised as well. So Cape Verde, they did good as well. So yeah, I really back that take.
Yeah, and you have to see Curacao. Germany was playing top tier like prime, and they of course lost high, but Mexico wasn't playing that good, and they still lost pretty significantly. So that's the big
Yeah,
difference, I think.
Yeah, that's
I
exactly the
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
I agree with your points because I watch Mexico play sometimes, and this is a bad Mexico team, even though they won the most recent continental championships. This is not a good Mexico team. They don't have a good depth, and they don't really have good, attacking flair. They know how to grind, but they're not that good. And South Africa made them look like prime Barcelona.
Yeah, yeah, and they had 2 players less, so for most of the game, 1 player less, and they didn't punish that as nearly as much as they could as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, South Africa, obviously, everyone, I'm sure, kind of expected better from them, but at the end of the day, they against I wouldn't say a great Mexican team, but a good Mexican team. They lost significantly. However, we're talking about Curacao. Although they played against the probably 4 times champions, but they did show like a much better fight than South Africa. So yeah, that's the yeah basically what separates them. So okay, I believe that's it. So just gonna uh, end the recording here. But yeah, before we go, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any suggestions, don't forget to mention them in the comments. And yeah, see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye,
All right,
see
catch you
y'all.
on the next one.